Hello again from Controlled Chaos Arms. I want to talk to you a little bit this week about quality and cost. Had a good conversation this week with a good friend of mine. He's a good shooter. He's a good man. He's quite a rifleman. However, I believe that some of his thoughts on practice ammo, the associated costs, and just exactly what cheap is and isn't are pretty flawed. I'll give you an example to hope I can illustrate to you what I'm thinking. He's got a 308, very fine rifle. We put a lot of time and extra care into building it. It's very capable and it shoots well. The average shooter would probably go out and either hand load or most folks would buy, let's say, match 308 ammo, Federal Gold Medal match, Hornady AMAX match, whatever it is you pick up. Let's say that you're going to give $25 for a box of 20 rounds. So he didn't, and he hasn't. He has opted to shoot what he calls cheaply or inexpensively. So he has spent, instead of $25 for a box of ammo, he spent $5. Picked up some surplus ammo, etc. Some people call this blasting fodder, and there are some methods of thought that say that that this is the way to go. I don't happen to agree in this case or in this circumstance, and when I kind of give you my example, I hope that it'll illustrate to you what I'm thinking. So for $5, this gentleman has 20 rounds. He puts them in his weapon, he shoots them, sends his projectiles downrange. He has below average performance. Let's say that he probably couldn't even hit a grapefruit consistently at 100 paces. So to me, that's not very good, especially out of a tactical precision weapon. So what does this gentleman actually accomplish for $5? Very little. He hasn't been able to log them in his shooting log for his weapon because, well, he can because he needs to know the round count. But as far as reflection of his performance or the potential rifle performance, they're flawed. His ammunition is not suitable. It isn't consistent. Therefore, he really can't get much out of it. Whereas if he just spent $25, 5 times as much, on good ammunition, we could break it down like this and say for that same $5 spent on good ammo, he would be able to send 4 rounds downrange, and he could chart them all. He would know exactly where the bullet struck and under what circumstance they struck. He could reflect in his shooting log whether those were his first round hits, his cold bore shot, the beginning, the end of his shot string, what trends he's seeing out of his weapon and under what circumstance, how he judged the wind and how effectively he judged the wind, other things that are going on with the weapon, the ambient temperature, altitude, all these other things he can use in his shooting log as a method of reflection on his performance. And so for every round he sent downrange with quality ammo, he got something back. He is able to look at his performance and know he's done something well, or, more importantly, if he's done something wrong, what it might be, what he needs to do to change it so that he can perform better next time. So for $5, he sent 4 rounds downrange and got quality and got consistency and got something in reflection for every round. For $5 spent on cheap, he's left with question marks. And so if we ratchet this up and say, let's say he spends $25, he shoots 5 times as much with the cheap stuff, still doesn't know much at the end of the day. Now he sent 75, 100, 150, 2,000 rounds, whatever it is you want to call it, downrange, and he doesn't get much for it. He burns the throat out of the barrel, and you can say he's got a little trigger time, to which I'd say, if you want trigger time, grab your gun and shoot people on TV. Shoot your big screen. If you have to dry fire, whatever else, that's fine. But if you want that kind of trigger time and you're not getting anything for it, dry fire. Otherwise, cheap isn't necessarily cheap. So keep that in mind. It's our philosophy here at CCA. We rarely compete on price. We're not one of the big boys. We don't have the volume, and we're not going to sell inexpensive weapons because we don't build things inexpensively. We build quality things, we build quality items, and we back them, and that's what we do. And that's our philosophy, and that goes through to how we shoot and under what circumstance we shoot. It may not be for everybody, and I understand that there's a great market and a lot of customers out there, but it's food for thought, and I just want to leave you with thinking, as I do, that cheap isn't necessarily cheap. So buy right, buy once, cry once, and be done with it. our best to you here from everybody here at CCA, and we hope this finds you and yours well. Thank you.